Hi, my name is Durwin Lynch, and this video is on knowledge integration between academic and non-academic stakeholders. This is one of the greatest challenges facing transdisciplinary and participatory research nowadays. Most of you have experienced this. There are institutional, epistemological, social, there are many barriers that can hamper proper knowledge integration, and most of us then feel stuck. So did we. But we started to reflect on our past experiences, and we took one case study, transitioned to the bioeconomy here in the Netherlands, and we applied to it a science and technology studies perspective, a constructivist, relational, and co-productionist perspective on participation. In its most simplest form, this is basically a constellation determining who is involved, how do you involve them, and what do you discuss. If this is connected, you can talk about a participatory collective. When we apply this to our study, we did see that we had a duality in configuration of participatory collectives. So two of them, each producing their own knowledge. We did not know this at the time and could not see how the knowledge was not getting integrated. This perspective really helped us clarify that. So then we thought, wouldn't it be a good idea, or a great idea even, to find or to do a literature research on studies that seemed successful in integrating academic and non-academic knowledge. So that is what we did. 3 databases, it yielded 31 articles. We wanted the articles to be very explicit in distinguishing the two types of knowledge, and next to that, also have as a starting point that knowledge integration is challenging and therefore present a novel methodology or approach to overcome this. And they're very reflexive then on this. That's what we saw. So we had 31 articles, and what's interesting about them is that most are of recent years, and also most of the articles are in the environment that is agricultural, marine life, ecology domain rather than in the health. We have chosen 3 of these articles and analysis on them, the perspective on them, just to highlight the different configurations that can emerge from, using this perspective. So our intention is not to go dive very much deeply into the studies, but this is the first one, which was on indigenous knowledge in Canada, on community forests. There were some negotiations there happening, and knowledge had to be integrated. So we tried to apply this simple triangle as a collective, and what came out of it? We found that over 20 years, because this article presents the study over 20 years, we found 3 distinctive collectives. One with the indigenous communities, one with the indigenous communities with researchers, environmental researchers, and the other one was more with the policymakers. We also saw that one collective's output was the input for the following collective. And these things mark actually the success of this project, of this case study. There was reflexivity on the output produced by the collectives. And in addition to that, time, 20 years to negotiate, to overcome barriers was really needed. A second example is on cancer research, where in this study they tried to connect Western biomedical professionals with indigenous Mayan traditional healers on the topic of oncology. Also here we applied the perspective and we found 3 collectives. Actually 2 collectives happened parallel, an academic and a non-academic collective. The non-academic with the Mayan ethnic groups articulating their knowledge and validating it. The same happening with the academic collective. And both of their outputs were distilled and were then served as an input for the following phase, which was an integrated collective, representatives from both groups, and where they even develop a bidirectional amic-ethic tool, a reflexivity tool. It's a very impressive study, also taking 4 years, but here you can really see how the collectives served each other in achieving the knowledge integration success. The last example, I'll be shorter on this one. This is also a study on, in this case, persons with developmental disabilities. We identified 2 phases. This is phase 1 with 3 collectives and different people involved with different methods. And then also a phase 2 where the output of phase 1 served 3 different other collectives. Now, what can we say based on these 3 studies? So what are our main insights? First of all, projectification is a threat to effective and meaningful knowledge integration. Projectification makes you want to work fixed, you know, to get deadlines done. But it also hampers reflexivity, contemplation, and therefore, yeah, this is something to take into account. Another insight, methods and tools, these are neutral. We saw a variety of methods and tools that seem to be adding to the success of knowledge integration. However, there are always a means to an end. Adding reflexivity, moments of contemplation, very carefully planned and timely, that's really key to integrating that knowledge and overcoming barriers. So the perspective also really helped us to make visible knowledge articulation, integration, and embedding in a greater institute. And all with all, we can say that this consciousness of this perspective can really help you with designing, implementing, monitor, and evaluate participatory endeavors, not only on normative criteria or reasons of democracy, but also really channeling, tracking that knowledge integration between academic and non-academic stakeholders. Stay tuned for our article. We hope that it will be published by the end of this year. And if you're interested to come discuss with us how useful you think this model can be for you, this constructivist, relational, and co-productionist perspective, we hope to see you in our session. Thank you very much.